welcome to the class today again. And we are here to discuss the topic noun clause. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and enable your notifications so as to have alerts of some new videos that I'm going to be sending in or uploading in here. So the topic once again today is a noun clause. Noun clause. What is a noun clause? Noun clause is seen as a group of words, and in that group of words, there must be a noun, and that is what is called root word or head word. And this particular group of words called noun clause functions the same way as nouns do. That is, all the functions that we have under noun as a topic, under part of speech in English language, is the same way that we have under noun clause. They share the same functions. Not only that, this group of words called noun clause is at the same time called dependent clause. It is called dependent clause because the group of words, despite the fact that it is a group of words, and in the group of words there is a subject and also a verb, doesn't mean that it can stand alone and be meaningful on its own. That is why it is called a dependent clause. Just like nouns do, a noun clause names people, names things, names places, and ideas. And noun clauses typically, as I said earlier, they have verbs and the subjects in the group of words. But the fact is, they cannot express a complete thought. That is what a noun clause is. Now, under this, how do you identify a noun clause in a sentence? Let's progress and look at how you can identify a noun clause in a sentence. Noun clauses have words that we call markers of a noun clause. I will call them markers of a noun clause because once you see them in a sentence, you should have in mind that it will probably be a noun clause. Even though it is not all these markers, as I call them, are those that you can see in a sentence to know that it will be a noun clause. That is where you need to be careful when identifying a noun clause in a sentence. Now let's get going and see what are the markers. We have WH words. Those words that start with WH, I call them noun clause markers. Examples are whatever, whichever, whoever, whomever, how, what, when, which, whether, whom, who, why at the beginning of the group of words. These words, the WH words that I just mentioned, you will see them beginning the group of words called noun clause in a sentence. And the simplest way to identify this is to check the group of words. If it's underlined, check the group of words whether you have those words that are called markers of a noun clause. However, this doesn't mean that whenever you see WH words, it's going to be automatically be a noun clause. No, don't make a mistake when identifying that. So I'll give you an example to show you that having WH word starting a group of words in a sentence doesn't automatically mean it is a noun clause. Let's look at the example that we have below, and that sentence is an adjective clause. So, as this is, I read the sentence. The city where I reside is very popular. The city where I reside is very popular. So, as if you can, uh, when you look at this sentence, when we remove what I underlined there, what remains is the city is very popular. That is it. But the group of words that we have therein is not a noun clause. It is not a noun clause. And the reason is we have a word preceding this group of words, and that is city. City is a noun. When you see a noun coming before the WH word that could be underlined in a sentence, have it in mind that it will be an adjective or an adjectival clause. So that is why in this sentence, it is not, the WH word there is not marking the group of words as a noun clause. So have that in mind. So where I reside in this sentence is what? An adjective clause. And here it is what? Modifying the noun city. So that is that. I hope it's clear. So when you are identifying a noun clause in a sentence, you have to be careful and look for the WH. So also that word, THAT, that. Sometimes it starts, the group of words underline. So take note of WH words and also that. And sometimes you may not have the WH words beginning the group of words underlined. That is the noun clause. And sometimes you may not have that as well, but you have the group of words alone. So what will enable you to know is that therein you will have a subject and also a verb. And the group of words, the noun clause, with the omission of that and WH word in a sentence, just look carefully. If you have it before a verb, that is the group of words underlined as a noun clause. If you have it before a verb, know that it is a noun clause. If you have it after a verb, know that it is a noun clause. If you have it after a preposition, know that it is a noun clause. If you have it after an object, a direct object in a sentence, know that it is a noun clause. When we get there to the types, you will see what I'm talking about, the functions and types. You see what I'm talking about. So let's proceed and see what it is. Now we head to components of a noun clause. What are the things you will see in a group of words called noun clause? In that group of words, there must be a subject and also a verb. Let's do the analysis and see what it is. A subject is known to be the performer of an action in a sentence, and this describes what the sentence or the clause talks about. Now, e.g., we have what he said was bad. The group of words underlined is what? A noun clause. So, as what we are looking for components, when you look at the group of words underlined, we have what? We have he, we have said. What we are looking for there as a component is what? A subject, which is what? The word he. The word he, that is the subject in the group of words. So that is one of the components of a noun clause. Secondly, a verb. A verb is known to be a doing word or action word. Now, we are still looking for components of a noun clause. Let's analyze the sentence below to see whether we have a verb therein. Do you understand what the homework entails? What the homework entails is a group of words known to be a noun clause. Now, let's check whether we have a verb there. Yes, we do. After what, we have the, we have homework, we have entails. In that group of words, entails is the verb in the group of words, which means we have the two key components of a noun clause of a noun clause in the two sentences that we analyzed here, under the subject and under the verb. We have seen under the subject the word he. And under the verb, as a component of a noun clause, we have entails. I hope that is clear. Now let's progress to the functions of a noun clause in a sentence. Functions of a noun clause. We have 5 different functions of a noun clause in a sentence. And the first one is a subject of a sentence or a verb. That is what a noun clause can function as. And when we say subject of a sentence or a verb, it means the group of words that is known to be the noun clause comes before the verb, standing in the position of the subject in a sentence. Now let's analyze the sentence below, the subject of a sentence, to see whether that is true. Pardon me, I didn't underline whatever there is part of the underlined words. So, e.g., whatever happens to her is none of my business. That is a sentence. What we are to underline in that sentence as a noun clause is whatever happens to her. That is the noun clause in that sentence. Now, what are we looking for? The group of words standing as what? The subject of the verb or of the sentence. The verb in that sentence is the word his. The word his. So what we underlined, whatever happens to her, is the noun clause coming before the verb in the sentence. That means the group of words underlined occupies the position of what? The subject of the sentence. I hope that is clear. Now moving to the second one, a noun clause can function as the object of a sentence, also of a verb in a sentence. Let's look at the sentence below it for analysis. E.g., I like what you do. I like what you do. What you do in the sentence is what? A noun clause. And when you look at the whole sentence, the verb in that sentence is the word like. So we have the group of words underlined coming after the verb like, which means it occupies the position of an object in the sentence. So there, what you underline functions as the object of the verb like. I hope that is taken. Now, moving to the third one. We have a noun clause functioning as the complement of the sentence. When we say complement of the sentence, it means the group of words that will be underlined or called a noun clause in that sentence will be referring back to the performer of the action in the sentence. Let's see how true this is. His whereabouts remains a mystery that baffles everyone. Whose whereabouts? His, talking about the subject. And whose whereabouts is remains something. That is a mystery. That is the person's whereabouts remains what? A mystery. So mystery is referring back to the subject of the sentence, and also the subject of the sentence is who we are talking about. That is, his whereabouts is what? A mystery. I hope that is clear as well. Now moving to the next, we have a noun clause at the same time functioning as complement of the object. This also happens when we have the group of words called a noun clause coming before the direct objects of the sentence. So let's look at the sentence below it. The chef ate the chicken which he had roasted. When you look at which he had roasted, which is a noun clause in that sentence, it comes after the direct object of the sentence. When we remove which he had roasted, what remains is a complete sentence. The chef ate the chicken. That is as simple, and it is a complete sentence. But in order to have additional information of the kind of chicken the chef ate, that is when we have which he had roasted, the one he roasted, not the one he bought from a eatery. I hope that is clear. So, which he had roasted there is a noun clause functioning as the complement of the word chicken. Is a noun, the noun chicken. So the last one on the list for functions of a noun clause in a sentence. A noun clause can function as prepositional complement or object of a preposition. This happens when we have a group of words called noun clause coming after the preposition in the sentence. That is when we have prepositional complement or object of a preposition. Now, the players deliberated on who should lead the team. So, who should lead the team there is the noun clause coming after the preposition on. So, the group of words underlined there is functioning as complement of the preposition on or object of the preposition on because they are deliberating. So what they are deliberating on is what the preposition is what pointing at or relating the player's deliberation on. I hope that is clear as well. So let's progress to the final part of a noun clause, which is the types. Now we have types of a noun clause or nominal clause in a sentence, in English language. We have THAT, that clause. This means in a group of words underlined or given, THAT, that usually starts the sentence. Let's look at the sentence below it. It is clear that you are up to the job. It is clear that you are up to the job. So that you are up to the job starts with what? That clause. And there it is functioning as the object of the verb phrase is clear. We are not talking about functions here. We have done that before. So let me just go straight and show you the types here. So that is that. I hope that is clear. That number one sentence starts with what? That clause. Another type of a noun clause is nominal ing clause. What this means is from the topic in English language nominalization, that is changing a class, a word class from one part of speech to another class. That is what is meant by nominalization, formation of a word from its class to another word class. So here we are talking about ing clause, that is changing a verb to perform the function or to work like a noun in a sentence. So we have go. When you look at going in the sentence under nominal ing clause, you see that going is normally a verb, but here it is used as a noun, functioning as a noun because of the word nominal. So going home at this time is not advisable. That is the sentence. But the words underlined in that sentence is known to be a noun clause, and precisely the type nominal ing clause. It will start with a verbal noun. I hope that is clear. Another one is to infinitive. This is a situation whereby we have the preposition to with the infinitive form, that is the base form of verbs. That is what is called to infinitive. When preposition is used with the base form of verbs, that is that. So let's look at the example under it. To go out like this is not good. To, the preposition. Go, that is the base form of a verb. So both together, that is what is meant by to infinitive. So to form a clause noun is what is meant by to infinitive clause. So to go out like this is what we underline. That is the noun clause in that sentence. And the type is what? To infinitive clause. The next is WH clause. This are the WH words that starts or that marks the beginning of a noun clause in a sentence. E.g., I want to know why she's here. When you look at why she's here as the noun clause in that sentence, we have why starting with WH. We have some others as well, but this one is the one you will use for our example here. I want to know why she's here. Why she's here is the nominal clause there, or noun clause, or dependent clause there. So start with a WH word, why. And the last one on the list to end the class today is yes or no interrogative. This is when we have uh, the sentence, the group of words underlined as a noun clause forming part of a sentence to become uh, a way of asking question. That is what is meant by yes or no interrogative. And under this, we have the use of two words, whether and if. So in the sentence, if it is yes or no interrogative and forming type of a nominal or noun clause, you have either whether starting the group of words underlined or if starting the group of words underlined. Sorry that I didn't put the second option, whether, but just let me familiarize you with that. So it starts with whether or if at the beginning of the underlined words. So the example, do you know if the banks are open? Do you know if the banks are open? That is a question. That is why it is called yes or no interrogative. So it depends on what the answer is. Is it that the banks are open? If yes, you say yes. If no, you choose what? No. So if probably this question is asked during the vacation or holiday, the answer will be yes, because banks will work except on independence days. So this is the last part of a noun clause. As I have explained everything under noun clause to you now,